So, because we got what was known as a one-size-fits-all monetary policy, in other words, the European Central Bank sets the same interest rates and has the same QE everywhere, it was considered sensible to try to make sure that the economies were roughly economically similar before they were going to join. So, if you want to join the eurozone, there are 4 convergence criteria. Firstly, you've got to have similar inflation rates. I mean, so in principle, if you're going to join, then if you take the 3 best performers, i.e. the 3 lowest inflation countries, then you have to be within your inflation rate has to be within 1.5% of that. What we're really saying is that if your inflation rate was really different from everybody else's, much higher, then you wouldn't be able to compete. So what it would mean is that we want similar inflation rates to ensure that new joiners can compete. That they're not going to become massively uncompetitive, because remember, they've locked their exchange rate in at a particular level. And also it means again that the European Central Bank interest rate will be appropriate. If everybody has wildly different inflation rates, then the European Central Bank won't be able to set a sensible one-size-fits-all interest rate for everybody. Secondly, there are restrictions on debt, to try to make sure that new member countries don't undermine new member joiners of the eurozone don't undermine the stability of the euro as a currency. So secondly, it's called the Stability and Growth Pact. We're trying to avoid excess debt. And when these were originally written, then your budget deficit had to be less than 3% of GDP. And your national debt overall had to be less than 60% of GDP. But times have changed. But that was how they were originally formulated. Thirdly, it make your overall kind of long-term bond yields, long-term interest rates have to be similar to those of existing countries, again for obvious reasons. So we've got to have similar long-term interest rates. Otherwise, again, you're going to join, have the European Central Bank set a particular interest rate. If yours are very different from that, then it's going to create a shock. So by having similar long-term interest rates, it avoids a shock. When European Central Bank sets interest rates. And lastly, you have to have been part of the ERM. You've got to have had a stable exchange rate as part of the ERM, which is a kind of a banded kind of exchange rate system where you're stabilizing your own currency against that of the euro. You had to have been part of that for 2 years. And the idea is that if your exchange rate has been stable for 2 years, then that exchange rate must be probably about right. Otherwise, it would have not been able to stay within these bands. So when you then lock your exchange rate forever, once you adopt the euro, then that's it. The exchange rate between, say, between the euro and the zloty, not that they're going to join anytime soon, but if you look at the exchange rate between the euro and the Polish zloty, once they actually join the eurozone, then that's kind of effectively fixed forever. So if that's the wrong rate, that's a big problem. So this last criteria is to try to ensure that when you join, your exchange rate is appropriate. So all these things taken together are designed to try to ensure that the one-size-fits-all monetary policy, the single interest rate that the ECB is going to set, is going to be appropriate for all member states by trying to make sure that when they join the eurozone, they're similar to the countries that are already part of it.